everyone, this is David from Boston Hammers with my preview for the West Ham Burnley match at Turf Moor tomorrow on Saturday, November 9th. Both teams are in a dreadful run of form, with Burnley having lost their last three matches. They're going to be desperate for a victory on home soil, while West Ham has lost to and drawn in their last three. And we've all seen how badly they've played those last three matches, although they were decent against Sheffield, I will say. Really, what I think it all boils down to is Roberto has really been costing us. My theory is that Manuel Pellegrini has chosen to go with kind of a more compact, less free-flowing side with players who don't get out of position very often, but maybe aren't as pacey, and some of them aren't as technically gifted. I think it's had the opposite effect. I think what it's led to is that teams just kind of wait for us to have all the possession, and then they break against our less pacey players. It was very, very strange to see Pablo Zabaleta matched up against Saint-Maxime last week against Newcastle, who's one of the most pacey wingers in the Premier League. I think that when we were on our good run of form, our best defense was our attack. So I want us to go back to that old lineup. I want Masuaku in at fullback. I want Frederiksen at fullback. I want us to be able to counterattack quickly. I want us to be able to, do those trio of passing that kind of scares the defense and puts them out of position, instead of just dribbling it around the opposition penalty area and them knowing we can't score. I know I said last week that Balbuena might be an upgrade over Ogbonna, but when we were in our good run of form, Ogbonna was in there. He is pretty athletic and quick, even though sometimes it seems like he may make an error. So maybe I'd rather have him in over Balbuena, Masuaku and Fredericks at fullback. And then I think there's a big debate over whether to put Snodgrass or Lanzini in. Snodgrass has had two good battling performances, but he's not the paciest player. I don't think he scares opposition defenses as much, even though he did score in the Newcastle match. So it's either toss-up for me, Snodgrass or Lanzini, but I kind of would like to see us go all-out attack because we're so desperate for a win. My actual prediction for this match is a 2-2 draw. I think it's two desperate teams. I have the feeling it's going to be some sort of a heartbreaker like the Bournemouth match, where we will be up 2-1 very late in the game. I'm referencing the Bournemouth Callum Wilson hand goal match. And then they'll maybe score a late goal because of an error by Roberto. I'm very happy to see that Lucas Fabianski will be back. I think it's by the end of December, I read, which is not too far away because we really need him. I've said previously that Roberto is going to cost us some points, and that's proven to be true. So my final prediction is a 2-2 draw. Come on, you Irons.
Hey, what's up, American Hammers TV? This is Tex of the Fresno Irons. I am here to give you the pre-match preview for Burnley. Basically, it comes down to this. West Ham United have to figure out a way to right the ship. Is it a question of the fact that the tactical paralysis of Manuel Pellegrini is falling apart? Or is it the fact that we're not giving the effort that we expect as West Ham fans to see from the players that don the claret and blue shirt? Unfortunately, right now, it's a toss-up to what the major issue really is. I personally am not ready to pack it in on Pellegrini, but I will admit that in my own world, he is on very thin ice. As far as the players go, West Ham United clearly have the quality to defeat Burnley and take them down fairly easily with the talent that we can put out on the pitch. But what I would like to see is West Ham United come with a slightly changed lineup. Maybe a more important role given to a guy like Philippe Anderson where he's playing through the middle. Maybe Robert Snodgrass through the middle. Maybe two strikers up the top. Nonetheless, I can have every maybe in the world. But what has to happen is Pellegrini has to get the selection right this time. We have to see those players put in a shift, because I don't expect West Ham United to lose this game. I expect it to be a 2-1 victory, but I would not be shocked that West Ham United fall down early in this game and maybe have to grab themselves by the bootstraps, pull themselves back up, and go win the game, which might ultimately be the best thing for us to find out what we're truly made of. My goal scores in this game are simple. I think Robert Snodgrass is proving his point that he needs to be on the pitch in a more regular role. I think he's going to get his third goal in as many games. Sebastian Haller, I expect him to get a goal because I think he is ultimately the guy that's going to drive this team for the near future and the long-term future. So I fully expect him to get on the score sheet, and I expect a massive game from Ryan Fredericks if he's given the opportunity to start. So there you have it. Fresno Irons think West Ham United will prevail in this one 2-1 over Burnley, but nonetheless, I do think that we will be tested early by Burnley and Sean Dyche's crew.